Ever wondered how your fridge keeps your food fresh and cool? It's a question many of us have pondered as we reach into the chilled depths for a snack or a refreshing drink. In an age where convenience and efficiency are paramount, the humble refrigerator has become a marvel of modern living. It's not just about keeping your milk from spoiling or your veggies crisp. Refrigeration plays a crucial role in food preservation, reducing waste and ensuring we have access to diverse, nutritious food all year round. But how does it do this? How does a box sitting in your kitchen manage to defy the natural order, keeping the heat at bay and maintaining a constant cool temperature? The answer isn't magic, it's science. The secret lies in a process known as the refrigeration cycle, a fascinating interplay of physics and engineering. We'll be delving into this in the upcoming scenes, so stay tuned as we uncover the cool secrets of your fridge. The refrigerator operates on a cycle known as the refrigeration cycle. This is a continuous process that allows your fridge to maintain a cool temperature, keeping your food fresh and safe. But what exactly is this cycle, and how does it work? Well, let's break it down. The refrigeration cycle is essentially a heat pump system involving four main components: the compressor, the condenser, the expansion valve, and the evaporator. Each of these parts plays a crucial role in ensuring that your refrigerator stays cold. Now imagine a relay race where each runner is a component in this cycle, passing the baton, which in this case is the refrigerant. The race begins with the compressor. This is where the refrigerant starts its journey. The compressor pressurizes the refrigerant, heating it up in the process. Next, the baton is passed to the condenser. Here, the hot and high-pressure refrigerant loses its heat to the surrounding air, cooling down and transforming into a high-pressure liquid. This phase change is crucial to the refrigeration cycle. Then comes the expansion valve. This component is like the gatekeeper. It controls the flow of the refrigerant, allowing it to enter the evaporator at a controlled rate. When the refrigerant passes through the expansion valve, it rapidly expands and cools down dramatically. Finally, the baton is handed over to the evaporator. This is where the magic happens. The cold refrigerant absorbs the heat from the inside of the refrigerator, cooling down your food. As it absorbs the heat, the refrigerant changes back into a gas and returns to the compressor, ready to start the race again. So in a nutshell, the refrigeration cycle is a relay race of heat transfer, with each component playing a vital role in maintaining the cool environment inside your fridge. It's a marvel of engineering that operates silently behind the scenes every day in kitchens around the world. Now that we have a basic understanding of the refrigeration cycle, let's delve deeper into each component. The compressor, often referred to as the heart of the refrigerator, starts the refrigeration cycle. This isn't just a romantic metaphor, it's a fitting comparison that captures the compressor's vital role. Just as the heart pumps blood around the body, the compressor pumps refrigerant through the fridge. Let's dive right in. Picture the compressor as a sturdy, hard-working pump. It's the starting point of the refrigeration cycle, and its primary function is to pressurize the refrigerant. But what's a refrigerant, you might ask? Well, it's a special fluid with a low boiling point. It's the substance that actually absorbs and removes heat from the inside of your fridge, making it cold. Now back to our trusty compressor. It sucks in the refrigerant, now in a low-pressure gas form, from the evaporator. Here's where things get a bit science-y. When the compressor pressurizes the refrigerant, it gives those gas molecules a good squeeze, bringing them closer together. This process converts the refrigerant into a high-pressure gas. But why does this matter, you ask? Well, this is the key to how your fridge cools your food. You see, when the refrigerant is pressurized, it gets hot. And this high-pressure, high-temperature gas is ready to release that heat at the next opportunity. Imagine you're at a crowded concert, shoulder to shoulder with other fans. It's hot, right? You're eager to get out into the open air and cool down. That's pretty much how the pressurized refrigerant feels. It's got all this heat energy and it's ready to let it go. And where does it let it go? That's right, the next stage of the refrigeration cycle, the condenser. But we'll save that for the next scene. So in short, the compressor is the hard-working heart of your fridge, pressurizing refrigerant and getting it ready to release heat. And that, my friends, is how your fridge gets cool. The high-pressure gas then moves on to the next stage of the refrigeration cycle, the condenser. In the condenser, the high-pressure gas from the compressor is cooled and condensed into a liquid. This is the next crucial stage in the refrigeration cycle. Now you might be wondering, how does this happen? Well, it's a simple yet fascinating process. Think of the condenser as the radiator in your fridge. Its primary role is to dissipate heat. The heat that was absorbed from inside the fridge by the refrigerant is now ready to be expelled out. But how is this feat achieved? Let's dive a bit deeper to understand this marvel of engineering. The refrigerant enters the condenser as a hot, high-pressure gas. As it travels through the condenser's coils, it meets the cooler air in the room. This cooler air absorbs the heat from the refrigerant, causing it to cool down and change state from a gas to a liquid. It's like when you blow on a steaming cup of coffee. The cool air from your breath absorbs the heat from the coffee, causing it to cool down. The condenser plays a pivotal role in the refrigeration cycle. Without it, the heat absorbed from the fridge wouldn't have a way to escape, and the fridge would fail to keep your food cold. It's a testament to the genius of the engineers who designed this system. Once cooled, the refrigerant moves on to the expansion valve, and we'll explore this next vital component in the following scene. So, stay tuned. The expansion valve and evaporator work together to create the cool air in your fridge. Now let's dive into how these vital components pull off this cooling magic. Imagine the refrigerant freshly compressed and hot coming from the compressor. This refrigerant is under high pressure, but the expansion valve is about to change that. Acting as a gatekeeper, the expansion valve abruptly reduces the pressure of the refrigerant. When this happens, the refrigerant rapidly expands and turns into a cool gas. It's a little like when you open a can of soda and the gas inside quickly expands and cools down. Now let's move on to the second star of this scene, the evaporator. Picture a network of tubes, much like a maze, within the walls of your fridge. This is where our cool gas, the refrigerant, finds itself after the pressure drop at the expansion valve. The evaporator's role is truly fascinating. It's here that the refrigerant absorbs heat from the air inside the fridge. Yes, you heard it right. The refrigerant soaks up the heat, causing the temperature inside the fridge to drop. It's a bit like how a sponge absorbs water. The refrigerant, now transformed into a low-pressure gas, is warmer, having collected all that heat from the fridge's interior. But why does the refrigerant absorb heat? Well, it's all about balance. Nature strives for equilibrium, and the refrigerant is no exception. It's cooler than the air inside the fridge, so it naturally absorbs heat to try and even things out. And just like that, the expansion valve and evaporator have done their job. They've transformed the hot, high-pressure refrigerant into a cool, low-pressure gas that's ready to absorb more heat, keeping your fridge nice and cool. This completes the refrigeration cycle and the process begins anew. And that, my friends, is how the expansion valve and evaporator make your fridge the cool haven it is. So there you have it, the mystery of your refrigerator's coolness explained. Just like a magician, your refrigerator performs its tricks quietly and efficiently, right under your nose. Yet, unlike a magician, we're revealing all its secrets. Let's take a moment to marvel at this everyday appliance. It's a mini climate-controlled vault, maintaining a constant temperature to keep your food fresh and safe. The refrigeration cycle is the magical spell at the heart of this feat. This continuous cycle of evaporation and condensation, driven by the compressor, condenser, expansion valve, and evaporator, is what keeps your fridge humming and your food fresh. The compressor, the heart of your fridge, starts the cycle by pressurizing the refrigerant gas, heating it up. This hot gas then travels to the condenser, the fridge's radiator, where it loses its heat and turns into a high-pressure liquid. This liquid refrigerant then passes through the expansion valve, where it experiences a drop in pressure and temperature. Finally, in the evaporator, it absorbs heat from inside the fridge, cooling your food and turning back into a gas. And the cycle repeats tirelessly, day in and day out. This marvel of modern engineering, this magic box in your kitchen, is a testament to human ingenuity. Next time you reach for a cold drink or a fresh piece of fruit, remember the intricate process that keeps your food fresh and your beverages chilled.